Good morning, FC crew. It's Monday, July 1st. It's Canada Day. So, shout out to all my Canadian citizens in Canada and around the world. Wherever you're celebrating from, make it a good one. Enjoy the family, enjoy the outdoors, the weather, and celebrate well, celebrate safely. I am currently out for a walk to enjoy this beautiful weather today. Oh, it's gorgeous. Sun is shining. I'm in a good mood. It's celebration day, but I want to have a little chat with you on this beautiful Canada Day celebration. I want to talk to you about a few things, and I hope you stick around and listen and maybe learn a few things. Today, Canada turns 157 years old. What a legacy. What a history we have. So proud to be Canadian. And wherever you're from, you should be proud to be wherever you're from, whoever you are. Yeah, and take great pride in it and represent well because, we're setting the tone for generations after us. So, yay, 157 years. Happy birthday, Canada. Some people doing yoga in the park on this beautiful day. Awesome. Cool. Some other sights and sounds from our little community. We got the bouncy castles out, celebrating Canada Day in full force. Pretty cool. What are you doing on this Canada Day, Canadians? Hey guys, while we're out walking around, enjoying this beautiful outdoors, I just want to come on here. I wanted to talk to you. I want to chat with you parents, guardians, whether you're a stepmom, stepdad, whether you're, aunt and uncle who don't have kids, but you have, maybe your brother or sister have children, and you want to have a good conversation with those kids. I want to talk about how to have a good conversation with your kids and 3 things to avoid. So, here we go. Let's get started. For me, it's been 16 years of trial after trial of being a parent, learning through the tough, difficult times, learning through the errors, mistakes, and really struggling through it, talking to other parents, watching other parents, reading articles, watching other YouTube channels, just like you're watching right now, and trying to find answers as to how to have a good conversation with my kids, which are now teenagers. So this video specifically is going to talk about how to have a conversation with your teenagers and 3 things to avoid. So I'm going to park myself over here on this bench and set up the camera, and we'll talk for 5 minutes. How's that? Let's do it. The first thing I want to talk about is
you're being dramatic and you're overreacting.
You've probably said this before. You've probably heard other people say this before. But when we are talking to our teenagers and we look at them and tell them they're overreacting or being dramatic,
something is happening in their brain
in response to this very statement. Yes, we do have dramatic children that when there's no milk for their cereal, they react and overreact and be dramatic about stuff like that.
Give them a kick in the pants, because that really doesn't matter.
Okay? Go to the store, get some milk, wipe your crocodile tears. It'll be okay, and you'll be able to eat your Fruit Loops. Those things, yeah, they're trivial issues, and sometimes they do overreact, and they're very dramatic, but there's other conversations we have with other kids and topics that we discuss with them. When we say that, it belittles them and what they, I guess, categorize as important to them. So yes, a statement like you're being dramatic and you're overreacting can belittle their feelings, make them feel a little small, and cause them to feel unheard and invalidated. So what we want to do is we want to avoid that. My daughter loves art, she loves sketching, she loves drawing, she loves painting, and there was one particular day where she was sketching and she couldn't find her sketching pencil. It's her favorite sketching pencil, and she feels in her heart, in her mind, that she does her best work with this specific pencil. When she said she couldn't find it and told me, I told her she was being dramatic and she was overreacting.
You're totally overreacting.
No, I'm not, Dad.
And to get another pencil, use something else. Don't worry about it. Grab another, whatever the case may be, and do your work and get it done. But she was adamant. She was upset. But me saying, don't be dramatic, you're overreacting, grab something else, is really downplaying her feelings about what's important to her. And she felt unheard and she felt invalidated because I wasn't understanding why this pencil was so important. When she said and she told me why, then I began to understand, okay, it's no different than if I couldn't find my favorite fishing rod for fishing and I get upset about it. Well, I want to be validated. I want to be heard because I know how important the specific fishing rod is to me. Its dimensions, its length, the weight of the line on this fishing rod for what I'm fishing. So it all makes sense, right? So in those moments, we have to acknowledge their feelings. We have to ask them why they're upset and help them, I guess, discover and help us understand more about who they are. So that's number one. And this next one, we've all done it. My father still does it to this day. My father-in-law still does it to this day. And I do it. And I can see how it's so irritating and annoying to teenagers when we say this. But we say this, okay? You ready? Here we go. Well, when I was your age, I know what you're thinking. It has some validity to it. It may make sense to us in the moment, but boy, if you want to really you want to stoke the fire in a teenager's mind and get them angry and frustrated at you, just pull out the when I was your age card and see what happens. It's prime time for pandemonium. That's all I'm going to say. If we're to be honest, parents, a statement like when I was your age only comes across as a lecturing moment, and it really is dismissive of their true unique experiences. I mean, oh boy, do I sound like my dad sometimes. Sometimes it sounds like a rock in a blender. Whew. That's loud, that's noise, that's annoying. So in that moment, we want to pull out the when I was your age card. We need to stop and focus on their unique experience, unique perspective, and just think through it. Don't come to this conclusion that what we experienced and how we lived and our perspectives then is going to be applicable to today. Sometimes it's just not. Yes, we can use it in other contexts, but sometimes we have to be very smart as to when we use that, because boy, sometimes it just doesn't end well. Probably one of the most frustrating things in this 21st century when it comes to just texting, and it's an emoji world. It's slang. It's the millennial dictionary use of terms that us parents we just struggle through, right? Come on, let's be honest. And there's often times when I see them texting or using their own language in communicating, sometimes I'll watch them and I'll say, well, when I was your age, I actually picked up the phone and called my friends and went out, met them somewhere, and we did something fun. We didn't stick around and play games and talk over the internet. My son, right? He's most kids are texting, sending snaps, Instagram reels to communicate, gifts, you know what I mean, that send messages. And sometimes we look at that and say, that's so irrelevant. Like, how are they really bonding and growing over that? Because in our minds, a good phone call,
Or maybe a letter.
sit down and write a letter and send it to your friend. Can we show them? Yeah, we can show them or tell them what we did. But I think to avoid being condescending and not understanding their perspective, let's avoid the when I was your age card. Toss it in yesterday's garbage. You know what I mean? I think that's helpful. And the third and final one I want to chat with you about today is, you know what? You're smart and you're talented. You'll be fine. You'll have another opportunity. Don't sweat it. If you want to receive angry emotions or emojis from your teenager, say something like that. Because you're really missing the point, right? We're missing the point. We're not really seeing how they value what it is that they've either failed or come up short at. And so I think a step back, taking a deep breath, observing their perspective, observing what's important to them really helps in this situation. So while positive reinforcement is good and nice, using a phrase like this really causes us to kind of interject with their feelings and emotions, their struggles, their problems, and really kind of belittles in the moment what they really see as extremely important to them. And of course, we don't want to do that. So again, a better response would be something like this. So ask them questions, right? Help them navigate their personal struggle or challenge or failure that they personally at that moment engaged. Help them, navigate what's important to them and why it's important to them. I think we don't ask enough questions as parents. We fail in that area, and I think that's something we can clean up and become better at. For instance, your teenager gets a bad mark on their test or examination, or they fail to play their best game in whatever sport they're playing, and their team loses, and they know within their heart of hearts that they didn't give it 100% or their game was off, and they, after all of that, they feel defeated, that they feel they're forlorn, they're upset, they're quiet, and the last thing they need to hear from us is, hey, you're skillful, you're talented, hey, you'll be okay, it'll come around again. Sometimes entering into the world and saying, yeah, I can imagine how that might feel. I know it's important to you, and I guess that's deflating, and there's nothing worse than feeling that you've underachieved. And I think when we make small statements like that and help them understand their challenge, the challenge is in front of them, why they're so sad and upset, I think that not only helps them see that we understand, but it really creates trust in a relationship, right? So yeah, I think there's some things to clean up, and I still have to clean some stuff up, but I think in the long run, if we can keep these 3 things in mind and avoid them at all costs, and find a better way to navigate our conversations and be more empathetic, enter into their feelings, and don't subject them to old traditional statements that we've probably said over the years or our parents said, and really truly aim to understand, I think it will really help them make sense of why they're feeling what they're feeling. Thank you for joining me again. I'm Trent. This is Fatherhood Confessions. Follow me over here, like and subscribe, share the video. But glad to have you today, and thanks for listening, and be sure to watch some other videos on my YouTube channel. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being a loyal member of the SC crew. And until next time, like I always say, stay safe, have fun. I'll catch you on the flippity. We'll see you later.